So the problem becomes, how do we speak to all these benefits at once? And so what they end up doing is you have to speak across. So rather talking about those specific tangible ones that are so interesting, you end up saying, boost your team's productivity or make your team work better. And then that is completely uncompelling to anyone.
Right. One of the things we talk about is your positioning ultimately has to move somebody off of a status quo, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really your biggest competitor. And those kind of statements just say nothing to me. And you're lucky if they dig deeper into your website at that point.
For sure. We've seen companies that had amazing brands, but they had horrible product marketing and then they would die because they're like, I love how the aesthetic and I love the vibe and I love how everything looks, but like I couldn't figure out what the heck do you guys do? And so what we see is like with taglines and these kind of vague statements, companies can get away with those things when the majority of their total addressable market can answer those questions about the product. What does it do? When would I use it? Why would I use it? How would I use it? Who is this for? All those different things. If the majority of your total addressable market can answer those questions, then you are free to replace product marketing lingo with cool taglines. And who is companies that big? Nike, Coke, Apple. You can throw up all these amazing taglines because everyone knows what those companies do. It would be hard to find a single person who couldn't tell you what is Coca-Cola, right? Like in the whole planet, based on how much they've have done over the last, I don't even know, 50 years, maybe more than that, probably more than that.
My theory is that most marketers have been taught by the big companies that are all about branding and awareness. And so then we go and try to apply that to a startup and it just doesn't resonate.
And to your point, right? When you get to a certain level, these industries become commoditized. So I think of airlines. Airlines are competing mostly on brand because they all offer the same thing. So the big ones have almost identical product offerings, but they're running who runs the ads the most, who shows up in the Super Bowl and in your psyche, so that when you go to book, which one do you trust more? I really trust Delta or whoever it is, and I like what they're about, so I'm going to go with them. But then you have these newcomers who are doing product marketing, and they're differentiating and saying, I'm Spirit Airlines. I'm actually for people who are primarily concerned about cost and who are willing to give up reclining chairs, willing to give up space between their legs, willing to travel with just a backpack and nothing else. And so you have these newcomers entering the space, and they're not doing it on brand. They're doing it on product marketing differentiation. We have actually a different product, usually positioned for a subsegment of people who are underserved by the big airlines.